Hello everyone and welcome to day 18 of my Christmas card series. Today I've got this really cute stamp set from Mama Elephant called Oh Puppy Tree. It's very similar to the one they came out with last year, Oh Kitty Tree, which I absolutely love because it's, for cat lovers, dog lovers, either one. So today I wanted to use the Oh Puppy Tree along with the coordinating dies. I have a piece of Bristol smooth cardstock here that I'm going to be doing some ink blending on. And all I wanted to do was just to create a nice kind of focal point, and behind this is not really meant to be a night sky. It's not meant to be, anything like that. I just wanted to add some color behind it. Now, if you wanted it to be a night sky, you could. It definitely has that effect. But, again, I just wanted to add some color to the background here. So I'm just taking some Salty Ocean, chipped sapphire, and black soot, and creating this ink blended background. Now I sped this up because it took me a little while to get the desired look I was going for. I wanted it to go from light all the way out to the black. I wanted to have the center of the card to be the lightest. Again, I have this sped up to about, I think, 8 times. I wish I could ink blend this fast. But again, it did take me just a little while to get it blended just right. This Bristol smooth paper is great for ink blending. It, the ink just glides right across it. It's super great. Now you could use Neenah. Neenah is really good paper for ink blending. It works just as good. I just prefer using Bristol when I'm doing my ink blending with distress inks. Once I had what I was going for, I hit it with my heat gun just to make sure it was nice and dry because I wanted to do some ink splattering in the background, and I didn't want to do stars or anything because, again, I wasn't trying to make this look like a night sky. It did in the end look like a night sky, but the thought in my mind was I wanted to do some gold splatter in the background. I'm using my Art Philosophy Metallic Accents paint palette, and I'm using the gold color. And I'm just putting a little bit on my acrylic block here where it's watered down and adding that splatter in the background. I was kind of hoping for some more like chunkier splatters, but I ended up with these really fine ones, so it looked like stars in the end anyway, but I still like the way that the card turned out. And once it was all done, I set it off to the side to dry, and I was going to get ready for my coloring. So I'm using some Neenah Solar White cardstock here and my Misti tool to get my stamping done, and I'm also going to be using some Memento Tuxedo black ink because it is Copic friendly. Get this lined up. Now I did end up stamping this image twice because the first time I did it, because it is a new stamp, it didn't stamp really well, so I kept going over it several times, and I ended up, making the lines too thick, so you couldn't see a whole lot of the detail. So this first stamping attempt didn't work out too good, so I just flipped my paper around and decided to stamp it again. I just didn't like how thick the lines had turned out, so I just went along and started to stamp it again, and I gave that other one to my one son so he could color it because he loves to color. Once I got that all stamped out, I just trimmed out the one that I wanted to use, and I can get into my coloring. All the colors that I'm going to use, I will have them listed, and once all the coloring's done, we'll come back and finish up together. utilizing the coordinating die, I cut out this cute little stack of puppies, and I just love how this turned out. I love all the neutral colors against that dark sky with the red and green pops of color. I really like the way that it turned out. Now what I wanted to do, instead of making it look like these puppies are floating in midair, I wanted to give them a little bit of ground. Now you could just use a simple stitched hillside border. I just decided to freehand cut this, and I'm going to be using some MFT A2 stitch Stax dies to cut out that main panel, and I'm going to use the same die to cut out that snowdrift so it all has the same stitching all the way around. Get this lined up. Get that cut out. And I love just the nice little subtle stitch, and then it leaves, like I said, but I have mentioned before, this nice little thin border around the edge of your card. Gives a nice mat, so you don't have to add a bunch of layers to your card. It kind of does it for you. Sorry if you hear a banging noise, it's just my washing machine going around getting the spin cycle going. Sunday afternoons are meant for laundry, so. And I like the way that turns out, and now I have a great place for my sentiment to go. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to take the same sentiment that is included in the stamp set that says, "Yappy holidays to you and your family." And I'm going to be using some Simon Says Schoolhouse Red ink to do that. And I'm going to be using this Simon Says grid sheet to help line up my sentiment to make sure that it's nice and straight in the center of that snowdrift. And I apologize if my head gets in the way. I just wanted to make sure I had it nice and straight. I really like this punny sentiment. It's super cute. And this is great because I have both of the, the Oh Kitty tree and now this Oh Puppy tree. So I can send these out to my dog lover friends, my cat lover friends. So this is a nice set of stamps to utilize. Get my sentiment all laid out. Clean it off using my stamp chamois. I always make sure I put my greetings back on in their stamp sets because I've had a habit of losing them, or I'll leave them in my Misti and I can't find them. So again, now what we're going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of detail to these puppies. I'm going to take my Secure Glaze Pen and add details to their eyes and to their little noses. I really like the way this looks, really makes them pop. And I like this stack of puppies because you could make them any color that you want. If you have friends who have dogs, you could, showcase their dog in this. I showcased my dog. He's the one on the very top, the little derpy guy on the top with his tongue sticking out. I have a lab mix, and he's all black, and he has a little spot on his chest, and he's starting to get a little gray around the muzzle. So that's what I was going for with him on the very top of the tree. And just going around adding some highlights here and there on the candy canes and the ornaments, and adding just a little bit of pop to the presents. And then we can get this cute scene attached to our card base. And I'm going to take some Winkostella and add some sparkle. I really like using this Winkostella. It is super shimmery. And I love adding a little bit to a card just somewhat simple as this one. I don't have a lot of dimension on it, and adding that sparkle kind of gives it a lot of character. So I'm going to glue that bottom snowdrift down with my Tombow glue, and then I'm going to pop up the stack of puppies with some 3M foam tape. Getting super excited for Christmas. We went and got all of our shopping done, my husband and I, for all the kiddos, and I'm making all of my gifts for my family members this year as well, so those are all coming together. I'm super excited for them to receive them. They're really sweet and very personalized. Finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 110-pound Neenah cardstock here, make a top folding A2 size card, glue down my main panel with some Tombow Mono Multi-Glue, and then I'm going to take one of the images from the stamp set. I'm going to stamp with some Simon Says Fog ink, just a little puppy on the inside, just to pull the inside and the outside of the card together. I'll still have lots of space to write a greeting. And that will finish up my card for today. I want to thank you guys for coming by. I really appreciate all the likes and the subscribes. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos in this series. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see ya. Bye!